It's spring. It's spring, it's spring, it's spring, it's spring. Woohoo, things are growing and I want to show you. Here we go. Yeah. Wow. Well, hi everybody. This is Elizabeth with Live Simple, Live Free. And of course, this is that glorious time of year called spring. And I'm going to show you just a few things going on with our early gardening and our trees and just general stuff. So thanks for coming along with me. When we worked this bed, we took the really big bulky stuff off the top, you know, that's just really bulky. But underneath, we left it pretty much intact so that things would have a chance to compost in there, you know. And then of course we put on some well, hopefully fairly well composted manure, and then the soil.
All right, so that'll give you 7 for the ones.
That'll be 7. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be 7. So this one that maybe didn't germinate or isn't going to, I'm gonna plant.
Oh, planting stuff is so cool. It just makes me happy.
Kind of instant and satisfying when you're planting seedlings instead of seeds.
Yeah. All of a sudden you've actually got something growing. And I'll take my little book and I'll make a chart to make sure I know where the salsify is.
You remember what this is because it's weird.
I don't know what it is, honey, but we're having it for dinner.
I looked it up on the internet. Let's just take the bottom off of that entirely. Oh, that one's just barely going. And I just watered all this. So.
Okay. Yeah, I want to give this bed a little bit anyway because we got some lettuce trying to come up. I've been extremely happy with these growing beds. They're just, my goodness. I look back at some pictures from last year and they were just abundantly overflowing. There we go. She's breaking the bottom up just a little bit. It gives the roots a better chance of starting to spread out pretty quickly.
Well, it should send one main root straight down, I'm thinking.
Okay.
That would be its growth habit. So.
Okay, so you're just allowing that root to be free.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's going to be the most important thing to do. They might not liked being started indoors. This may or may not work.
But that's
But
all you can do is try.
and learn, yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully that'll just go straight down.
And I'll watch really carefully and make sure that I don't weed salsify. I only weed weeds that might come up.
Yeah.
She said it's supposed to have a taste like an oyster, like you could make.
That's
Wow.
That's what it was described as in the seed book.
So you could make like an oyster stew out of it. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, everything, it's worth trying once.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I made a decision. I just adore the parsnips. And turnips are good, but I think I'd rather grow other things because unless you really mix turnip with a lot of other stuff, it's got kind of a bite to it.
Oh, because it's like a radish.
Right. And now that doesn't mean turnips aren't wonderful, but I'm gonna kind of focus on stuff that I really enjoy, enjoy.
Yeah, did you get some beets last year?
Yes, I got beets. They were very good. I had beets, I had carrots, and of course those gorgeous parsnips. I did get some turnips, and we ate them, absolutely. And of course the wonderful sweet potatoes. And I know this year, with Molly's help, I'm going to be growing the orange ones and purple and white. We're going to kind of do a co-op on our sweet taters.
All right,
So,
I have some Laciano kale that could be harvested from the outside as you go. So I've got 3 of those. Where would you like these?
kale. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
And pretty much the only kind of kale that I like.
Okay, well, yeah, kale is really great. So now we're going to be putting in some kale. And you said they like it cold, so what?
So that during the summer you could just get rid of them if they start getting woody or
Well, and
whatever we want to do.
this cloth that you gave me, last year you said it blocks out like 40% of the UV rays. I used this. I'm saving it here. I used this last year, and it really kept the lettuce going.
Spinach could go in between.
Oh, they probably could.
And it probably won't matter because the kale, once it gets established, is pretty hardy plant.
Getting some kale growing here. I'm going to enjoy that. Oh my goodness, I love kale. That's great. We were just having a discussion about the asparagus because apparently my asparagus is taller than her asparagus. But she has 6 of them, so she has 6 little ones, and I have one mighty asparagus growing here. All right, kale's
Well,
going to be great.
of course,
Wonder if we need to put them
all
together.
3, the best of them are all in one. I'm gonna kill this one.
Okay, sometimes you have
I
to.
hate killing the plant babies.
I know.
It's terrible.
But, you know, anytime you have to thin stuff out, it's always a little traumatic.
I know.
Beautiful kale. Oh,
Plants down.
we have some casualties.
Well, no, it's fine.
Oh, yeah, they're fine.
Alright, that's the one we're culling. Alright, so you're gonna end up with 4.
Okay, right in there.
Alright. Come on, you.
We could just like poof some dirt around, you know. All right.
Okay, so I think that
What is that one?
this is just garlic chives, and so that would be a perennial as well. I don't know, they're really anemic looking. Only a couple of them sprouted because they were old seed. What would you think about putting them at the base of your asparagus, since it's going to be there every year, and if this lives, it'll just be there.
Right.
You can snip chives.
Right,
Off
because
plants.
asparagus is a tall, skinny thing, so the chives won't be in the way. No, that sounds
And
great.
like I said, they look a little anemic. There's 3 little tiny ones. And
Aw.
that's it. That's all that germinated. So, I don't think they're gonna bother this asparagus even if they live.
No. They are on different vertical planes
Yeah.
of where they grow.
And hopefully your asparagus at this point has really put down some roots and
Well, for it to have come up this spring and be that big, I'm hoping it's getting pretty established. I know it takes, at least 3 years before you're in a position to start harvesting them.
oh dear. Well, that's all you get.
Okay. Well, you never know. Something can just start from very small and get, you know. I mean, at one point I only weighed 5 pounds. And that was after I was born. Okay. Okay, so putting in a lovely clump of parsley.
Separate them out just a smidge. I think
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
it's so cute. It's slightly more impressive than the tiny little sprigs of green we got going on here.
Oh, they'll grow. They'll grow. Okay,
All right.
excellent. Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you, dear.
We did a thing today.
All right. Well, this is our beautiful, it's a Macintosh apple tree, and it's leafing out, and we gave it its treatment for the cedar rust, and it looks like it's growing so nice and healthy. And we put these black things around the stem. It's like a piece of plastic piping stuff that we cut and fit there. That way little critters aren't going to be chewing on the base of the trunk. And we're going to be putting some mulch in there too. We'll probably show you when we get that done. But isn't it doing great? Okay, on to the fig twig. And a quick update on my fig twig. It doesn't look like it's doing anything, but this one tends to leaf out later in the season. And it's the top of it is still wick. It's still alive, and we put the little black thing wrapped around to protect its little trunk from any little critters that can crawl in and chew on it. And it's going to bloom out. It's going to come out and leaf out, so I'll certainly show you when that happens, but it's still going. I'm excited. It'll grow. So my main tree for today, though, is this beautiful peach tree. Now, we talked about before that we knew we were in for some cold weather, but we knew that even if the blossoms got damaged by the cold, it wouldn't hurt the tree. And we know we don't want to grow a lot of peaches this year anyway. The tree's too young and too fragile. But I tell you what, 2 nights in a row, it was in the 20s. And, well, look at this. It didn't seem to hurt a thing. We're going to have to trim out a lot of these peaches, but this is going to be the peach growingest tree. Look at these guys. They're already fuzzy. They're all over the place. Just growing up the stems. And look at this one, getting bigger. But the tree is too young and too frail to grow these peaches. So we're going to need to nip them off. And I think what we'll do is maybe leave just a few of them that are really close to the big major trunk or big major branches so it'll have support, just to see what kind of fruit this is going to grow. But it's healthy, it's doing great. So we'll get these pinched off. If you look down below, we wrapped this trunk also with some of that protective black plastic to protect the trunk. And it's a little bit of a weedy growth in there now, but very soon we're going to be mulching like crazy all around it. And we'll show you when that gets done. So let's save some of these and pinch off some of them. And as usual, it is very difficult to prune something or to thin it out or to just pull this fruit off. But one of the real good things to learn about life is that sometimes pruning or things like that can be the healthiest thing in the long run, because we want it to grow strong and it's not ready to produce these big heavy peaches. So I don't know, I think there's times in life when the Lord takes things from us because in the long run we're going to be healthier and stronger and really better off even without it. So maybe that sort of applies to my baby peach tree too. Okay, let's start pruning. We've put some careful thought into which ones need to go, and so here we go. Just gonna break these sweet little babies off. But I'm telling you, this is giving me a pretty good idea that this is gonna be a good producing peach tree. We're gonna attempt to leave this one because this is a pretty major bough on this little tree. If it looks like it starts to bend it over, I'll take it right off. And this little guy right here is growing so many, but there's no way that fragile little branch is going to be able to sustain these peaches when they get big. Just very carefully here. Right now it needs to get strong roots, strong branches, and when it's bigger, then it can be producing fruit so much better. Alrighty. Was this one we were thinking about keeping because of this big branch? I don't know. What do you think, hon?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We were just going to keep that one, right there.
And this one, and then this one down here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be it. All right. Well, I'll be right back, and I'll show you that the 3 that we're deciding to just watch and keep. We would be interested in seeing what the peaches are like, but we got to be very careful that there's no way that it damages the tree. All right, we have literally just removed dozens, but we're doing this for the sake of the tree being stronger. We have just a few that we're leaving that are on big major branches, and as the fruit develops, if it looks like it's weighing something over, I'm taking the fruit off right away. So I'd love it if we could grow at least one to kind of see the flavor, but if there's any chance that it is weakening the tree, it's going to go. Because we want to give the tree a chance to grow strong. So there's something called vigor in plants, and it's a good idea with a baby plant like this to give it a chance to put the vigor that it has into strong root growth and branch growth and all that kind of stuff, so that it gets stronger and stronger and more able to bear fruit. So right now we're putting a lot of the vigor back into growing the tree, but we are going to see if we can get just a couple peaches off of it. So we'll bring you along. Well, we've got some gardening going now, and I'm so thrilled with the fruit trees. We have some other neat things we're going to be planting, which we'll show you. So thanks for joining me today. I'll try really hard to just share this whole coming into the growing time here with us, and love to have you guys come along, and I'm just rejoicing in the glorious beautifulness of everything. So, all right, listen, we love you guys. Be blessed. Live simple. Live free, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Well, you never know. Something can just start from very small and get, you know. I mean, at one point I only weighed 5 pounds. And that was after I was born.